Sometimes life goes so fast you just need to step back and take a time out. If you're really lucky, you can spend that time picking the brain of Blue Jackets head coach John Tortorella. We could only find one guy brave enough to do it. Here's Bob McGilligan and Timeout with Torts.
Last night, the Blue Jackets played their final game before the All-Star break, looking to extend their winning streak from 5 to 6, and they were able to get it done, beating the Winnipeg Jets by the score of 4-3. For the second time in as many games, Oliver Bjorkstrand had a 2-goal performance for the Blue Jackets, and he narrowly missed getting the first hat trick of his NHL career. He missed an empty net late in the third period, just that close to getting that third goal of the game. But the Blue Jackets go back to their old find-a-way mantra. They battled against a Winnipeg team that was desperate coming into the game, a team that had lost 3 in a row. They didn't want to go into their break having lost 4 in a row. They were wrapping up a road trip. They had their moms on the trip with them, but they still couldn't get over the hump against the Blue Jackets. So it was a well-deserved win. The Blue Jackets battled to make sure that they got what they were looking for so that they could go into the break on a high. Before last night's game, I had a chance to catch up with Blue Jackets head coach John Tortorella, and you're about to find out what he thought of Matiss Kivlenek's first game in the NHL playing at Madison Square Garden. You'll also find out where he is on Sonny Milano and when he might return to the lineup, and also who is the Ugly Octopus. It's all right here in this week's edition of Timeout with Torts. Torts, 2 years in a row, you put a rookie in to essentially make their NHL debut at Madison Square Garden. Last year it was Alexander Texier, which was a huge game. And then the other day it was Matiss Kivlenek to make his first starting goal in the NHL. I know you like the result of that game, but, do you have any apprehension about throwing guys onto that stage to play in a game so big, larger than life in some ways?
No. It was a game that Elvis and I talked, and he had played a lot of hockey, was really busy the night before in the back-to-back. I forget who we played for, the Rangers, I'm sorry. But was really busy, a lot of side-to-side work, all that comes with it. And we decided that Matty was going to get that game. I asked Manny how he felt, and Manny said he's nervous, and rightfully so. But this is where you find out about people. I'm so impressed with how calm his demeanor was during that game, and stood in there, made some key saves at key times. Those are fun things for a coach to watch, and where I'm a little nervous too. I'm not sure how he's going to react. It's our back-to-back too, and not sure what's going to happen. I'm impressed in the way he handled himself.
And he was very calm in the way that he played the entire game. As you said, Elvis was doing a lot of scrambling the night before, as he does many times. For Kivlenek, did you just see a guy that's been playing North American hockey for the past 3 years at a high level?
Yeah, he's been grinding away here to get this opportunity now to play his first national hockey game. He's been working hard at it. As I've talked to Manny, Manny thinks he's one of the most gifted athletes and talented goalies that he's coached. It's what does he have here? Manny's always said, what does he have mentally? And that's what we need to find out about. So I thought he was very mature in how he did things, settled in really nicely. It wasn't a crazy game by either team as far as chances. It was kind of a boring game. It looked like both teams were, I thought both teams were a little lethargic. I'm really impressed how he handled himself.
But you know that building so well because you coached there in New York, and I mean that is that's definitely bright lights, big city, and that can a lot of guys can go the other way real fast.
Oh yeah, it's Madison Square Garden. It says it's on its own, and that building can get revved up if that team gets going and scores a couple of goals. Didn't happen that way. I thought we played fairly well in front of them also. Yeah, Madison Square Garden, it's not an easy place to play your first game, especially as a goalie.
All right, Cam Atkinson is back in your lineup. Oliver Bjorkstrand's back in your lineup. You have to start to make some of these tough decisions. Sonny Milano's been your decision to this point. For Sonny, he's had such good flashes. How tough is it for you as a coach to take him out, even though right now it seems to be the right thing to do because you've got good chemistry?
Yeah. I'm a little apprehensive about it. I don't want to keep him out too long. I think we've made a lot of headway with him as far as away from the puck and trying to become a complete player. He's one of our most gifted offensive players in a team that's still, although we're improving, I think, still looking to try to be more consistent offensively. So that's the thing I'm juggling here. Do you keep an offensive guy in there to bring the offense in, or do you split up? And it comes down really that fourth line. Do I split up that fourth line and change some things around and take one of those guys out and destroy the chemistry of that fourth line? So those are the things I'm weighing. I've kind of bounced around lines anyway, including that fourth line, because I still think we're searching more consistently. So, yeah, I got to take it each game at a time here, but I'm certainly have Sonny on my mind.
Jacob Lilia, when he went through training camp and played the preseason games, the puck was around him all the time. That's why he made the team out of camp. And then it kind of fell off, and he went down to Cleveland. What's he showing you more of this time around?
Well, he's so dependable away from the puck, and it's something that we're trying to concentrate on, is trying to limit the odd man rushes, limit the high-quality shots. You don't have to say anything twice to him. He understands positioning. He can skate. He has blocked shots. He's done great wall work for us as far as battles on the wall. Like to see him make a few more offensive plays. He can. He has some stats in Sweden. I think he's just trying to get comfortable and do the things he feels really comfortable at, and hopefully some offense comes out of it.
We haven't talked that much about Bemstrom lately, and when we had conversations, you and I, earlier in the year, it was about his adjustments and trying to feel comfortable. Here's another guy coming back from injury. I think we talked about him after he played 2 games back, and he said he's trying to get it back. It looks like he's got it right now.
Yeah, he does. I still think he's a little inconsistent. The thing with Bemmer is I want him to think quicker. I want him to think quicker when he's checking as far as sticks on pucks and positioning there, because he knows what positioning is. And I want him to play quicker. I think that sometimes holds him back. I think that's one of his inconsistency of his game. I started him with Luke the other night. I didn't like what I was seeing with that line. We changed things around a couple of times. Felt really comfortable with Nick putting him there, and now I have Bemmer with Jens and Gerbs. So, yeah, he's still a little inconsistent for me, but I think he's going to be a very good player in this league.
Seth Jones is about to represent your team in the NHL All-Star Game, and I know that you feel that that's very well-deserved. And we've talked about the fact that you felt his game has been okay, but he's got more this year. Where's he at for you right now?
Yeah, he's improving. I think he's playing much better than the last time we talked on this subject here. As I've said, whenever I speak of Jonesy, I think there's so much to him as far as what he can do. I just have such a high standard for him. I'm going to keep on trying to hold him to it because I just know it's there. And more importantly, Jonesy is such a great pro. He wants to be there too. He is just such a good defender, a good puck mover, improving on the power play. He's just a really good player that I think can be a great player in this league.
Many times we'll say, show me a great goalie and I'll show you a great coach. But let's talk about Seth Jones and Zach Werenski. Having a great defensive pair like that, guys that you can put out there for 24 minutes a night if you want to. You could probably put those two guys out for 50 minutes a night, and they would give you everything that they have. How much better does that make you as a coach to have that pairing?
Yeah, it is. They recover so quickly from shifts. They are our tempo setters. They are the ones that are advancing the puck. They're the ones that are getting us out of our end zone as quick as possible. I think they've really helped us in front of the goalie in just that, moving pucks out of our end zone so we don't spend a whole bunch of time there. I've experimented taking them apart, splitting them up, and trying to balance. I just think they do so much for us as a pair, and they know each other so well. I mean, 95% of the time since they've been on this team and Zach came into the league, they have played together. They seem to help us quite a bit when they're together.
Well, if you were going to split them up, you're going to put one on the top pair and one on the second pair. With David Savard and Vladislav Gavrikov as the second pair, you don't need to even think about that, right?
Well, Gavi has stepped in and has improved so much, and those two guys are reading well off of one another. He's improved so much, it's helped us. Remember, we lost Murr. Murr was playing really good, and it kind of put a kink into how we're going to run our pairs. But Gavi has just he's like a guy. He's like an octopus. When he gets his tentacles on you, it's like he has 4 arms, because when he checks you, you just can't get away from him. And he's always in the way. Really is improved as far as positioning in the middle of the ice. He was getting caught on the outside quite a bit early in the year. We've tried to make an adjustment with him to be in the middle and open the door wide and then go after people that way. He's bought into that. He's just a good, solid player.
Earlier in the year, you said he was ugly and he grows on you, and now he's turned into an octopus.
He's an ugly octopus, yes. Yeah, and an ugly octopus that understands offensive plays, too, as far as reading the offense and when to jump in. So, yeah, he's an ugly semi-offensive octopus, if that's what we're talking about here.
That's perfect. There's probably a T-shirt in there somewhere for him. Last thing I want to ask you about, your team has been playing so well for so long. Does a long break make you nervous as a coach?
No. You know what? When I was younger, you beat your head against the wall when your team's playing so well. You want to keep playing. I'm not going to overthink it. It is what it is. We have to do it. I think for some of our guys that are injured, it certainly helps. And even the guys that are playing are pretty banged up. We've played a lot of hockey here of late. And, this is it is what it is. I hope they enjoy themselves. They have a program, what they need to do as far as conditioning while they're gone. Hopefully they stay with it, and we'll just get back at it.
I saw Rod Brindamore tell his team after the game last night in Carolina, I know you're going to some nice places. You're paying top dollar. They all have nice gyms. Make sure you use them.
Yes, that's so true. I'm not going to visit with my team. I never do after the game. There'll be other ways how I get to them after tonight.
Torch, thank you very much.
All right, Bobby, be well.
That is Blue Jackets head coach John Tortorella. Again, his team has won 6 games in a row now. Last night, they played the last game that they will play in the month of January. They've got the All-Star break and their 5-day break back-to-back. The Blue Jackets return to action on Saturday, February 1st, when they play in Buffalo against the Sabres. That'll be an afternoon game. In fact, they're going to have a back-to-back set coming right out of the break in Buffalo, in Montreal. Both of those games will be played in the afternoon. That's going to do it for this edition of Timeout with Torts. I'm Bob McElligott.